Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm Stephanie Fisher. I'm a licensed counselor here in the state of Michigan, and I'm owner and operator of In Progress Counseling. One of the things we're going to bring to the forefront today is co-regulation. To be dysregulated means I can go offline, I can become highly emotional, I can become highly reactive, I can shut down. Dysregulation means I'm not in the present moment experiencing a felt sense of safety or connection, and so a strategy shows up to deal, or a manifestation of that shows up to demonstrate that I'm not feeling okay and I'm not feeling safe. And so, often examples will come from my own life where I'm able to say to clients, hey, I wonder if this is what you might be experiencing. And one of the things that shows up quite often in some stories is this sense that we're supposed to handle stuff on our own, and that we might not need other people, or we don't want to bother other people, or we don't want to impose on others when we are having an extremely difficult time. So when we're dysregulated, we don't know how to ask for co-regulation. And so even recently I had an experience, and I'm, able to share with clients in story, in ways that maybe connect with their own lives. And so I shared with several clients that just a week ago, I was taking my dog for a walk, and it was a beautiful day, and I was listening to music, and the sun was out, which is rare here in Michigan in February, so you take advantage of it when it shows up. And we had been out for about a half an hour, and we're 4 houses from home. And my dog, he's a Chiweenie, and Chiweenies are very protective. They're very vocal. They have little dog syndrome, where they think they're really big dogs and big personalities. And so at a corner house, a small dog runs out to the road. And so I take Brutus and I start moving him across the street. And then a really big dog, probably 70 or 80 pounds, comes out of the garage and chases my dog. I'm not even sure how appropriate my response was, but my body just stayed between little dog and big dog, little dog and big dog. And owners came out, but my little puppy is trying to get at big dog and say, you don't get to mess with me. It was incredibly chaotic. It was incredibly scary. It lasted probably 45 seconds, but you can imagine in that time, fight or flight's kicking in. My whole one goal is to get dog and get him out of there. His goal, who knows? He was trying to be the big dog in this situation, and he just wasn't. It was very, very upsetting. And so I'm walking home, and I'm carrying Brutus, and I'm actually shaking pretty badly. He starts shaking because he also has cortisol running through his system. His adrenaline has been coursing through his little 20-pound body. And so we get home, and I'm just shaking. And that's a physiological reality, because fight or flight has kicked in, adrenaline's kicked in, cortisol's flooded my system, and I'm pretty upset and agitated. And so I call my husband and I say, hey, Brutus is okay, but this just happened. I'm feeling pretty upset right now. And he happened to be on his way home, and he said, hey, I'm going to be there in a couple minutes. And when he came home, he was calm. So my deluged system is very agitated. He comes in and he's calm. He's going to be really good about helping me co-regulate and come back to okayness. And so what happens is I'm able to talk, I'm able to say, hey, this was really frustrating, this is what I did. That's me processing, that's me making sense of the story, that's me taking it out of that amygdala and bringing it up to the prefrontal cortex, which we talked about in the last video. And now I'm doing something with that energy, and someone's holding it with me. And he's hugging me, and he's saying, hey, let's just sit here for a couple minutes. And because he's calm, I start to calm down, because I'm doing something with that energy and someone else is holding it with me. And so the next time that we need to take Brutus for a walk, now Kev is the one to take him. And the following time, Kev and I go together. And now I'm having an experience that's diluting that fear experience. So we walk by that house, nothing happens, okay, we're okay. We walk by that house, nothing happens, okay, we're okay. We also have a new practice with Brutus where we're having him stop, and when other dogs are around, we're doing some active training there. So now I have a pathway forward. But what happens is someone else comes in and helps me process through that big onslaught of fear, because that was a very scary experience. And so what I will invite clients into is, I don't think we're supposed to process those things alone. Now we can, but if I, Steph, am processing that alone, chances are avoidance actually kicks in. I'm avoidant as my kind of my default attachment style. So now I start finding other routes around my neighborhood that don't include going by that house. That doesn't actually solve anything outside of takes away that immediate fear about that specific house. But there's a lot of things about that scenario that could happen again, and my avoidance doesn't deal with that effectively. So what Kev and I are doing is some exposure therapy practice with another safe human. I'm walking through the neighborhood with another safe human. I'm walking through the neighborhood. Okay, I can go do that alone with some improved strategies. And so there's importance of someone else walking alongside me in that. It's not the only way to solve it, but it is important to honor that co-regulation helps us, it resources us to move through distress in a really helpful and even restorative ways. And so when I talk to clients who are, and I talk to historical staff who's like, I just have to handle it alone. It's like, again, I don't think we were supposed to. I don't think that's the most effective way. I think inviting people in, people who are already calm, their calm invites our storm to calm down, and we just work it through with someone. It's powerful, powerful stuff. It's important. This thing that could have felt like a small t trauma, now it's more of an agitation or an annoyance. It's not an imprint on my life necessarily, because someone was there with me, resourced it with me, walked through some healing steps with me. Co-regulation is powerful.